Welcome to AV's Tech. In this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to install Elementary OS Freya Beta 1 in Virtualbox on Ubuntu 14.04. First things first, you're going to need to download the ISO off the website. Pull up Firefox. Go to elementaryos.org. I've already visited, obviously. Say elementaryos.org. Then go ahead and click on Journal. And you'll see here, Freya Beta 1 available for developers and testers. This may change by the time you get around to watching this tutorial, but that's okay. Just search, Freya Beta 1 should come right up. Possibly by the time you've watched it, Freya Beta 2 will have been released, or maybe even the full version, and I'll probably be releasing videos for each of those. So go ahead and click on that. You can read through this entire blog post. I've already done it, talking about all the new features and bug fixes and whatnot. What we're going to need is down here at the bottom. It says, okay, give us the link already. I guess they like humorous titles. I've downloaded the 64-bit version of it, and you can go ahead and download that. Now that it's been downloaded, you can go ahead and go into your downloads, wherever you download it to. I've got my default set to the normal downloads folder in Ubuntu. Home, user, downloads, and you can see right here, Elementary OS, unstable, AMD. It's got the build date. It'll probably be different for you because it's a later date. But once that's downloaded, just leave it there. Doesn't matter where it is, just leave it there. You can put it on an SSD for faster install times, but it installed just fine for me on my 7200 RPM hard drive. That's all we need. Make sure it's fully downloaded. If you're really worried, you can check the MD5 sum. Just Google MD5 sum Ubuntu. Okay, now we're going to pull up Virtualbox. I've got Oracle VM Virtualbox. That's what this tutorial is based around. Something to note, I've got the newest version installed. The version in the repositories isn't this new. I had to install the newest version straight from Oracle because of issues I was having with the Windows 10 technical preview and the Virtualbox guest edition CD, which I needed because I was having visual issues. Anyways, default Virtualbox in the default repositories on 14.04 worked just fine for Elementary OS, and the guest edition CD works just fine in it too for Linux. So we're going to go ahead and create a new Virtualbox and name it Elementary OS Freya Beta 1. It automatically thinks BSD, not sure why, but you can change that to Linux and Ubuntu 64-bit or 32-bit if you download the 32-bit ISO. We're running it, setting it to Ubuntu because Elementary OS is based off Ubuntu. Then go ahead and click Next. The recommended memory size is 512 megabytes. That's not very much, that's just the minimum. I'm going to set mine to 5120. I've got 8 gigabytes of RAM, so that allocates 5 that it can use. If you look, 1024 times 5, 5120. 1024 being a gigabyte. Then go ahead and click Next. Create a virtual hard drive now, it's the option you want. If you know what you're doing, you can use an existing virtual hard drive file. But for this tutorial, we're just going to create one. So then go ahead and click on Create. I always just use the first default. There's really no reason to mess with it otherwise, unless you know what you're doing. I have a very specific reason for doing that. Go ahead and click Next. I always choose dynamically allocated, unless you've got a specific need for speed. It only creates a file as big as it needs to be and then grows up to the max size. Which is good because it doesn't take up as much space on your system. So then, just leave it dynamically allocated and click Next. Go ahead and change this to 10 gigabytes. Don't leave it at the 8 because, Ubuntu usually takes 6 to 7, and I'm sure Elementary OS has changed it around a little bit, but you're going to want to have a little bit of room to install and use the virtual machine. So 2 extra gigabytes will leave you plenty for just testing it. If you're going to be using this a lot, then you can add more. But that's what I'm going to leave it at. So then go ahead and click Create. take it a second, and it'll create a virtual machine for you. Okay, now that you've got the virtual machine created, you can go ahead and click Start. You have to choose the ISO. So I've already got it, stored. Virtualbox knows where it is. You're gonna have to open it manually. So just go ahead to Downloads, find your ISO. Click Open. Then go ahead and click Start, and it should boot up your ISO. Okay, so that's good. It's the default Ubuntu Live Media icon thing. Give it a second. It is loading from hard disk. You can just ignore that error. Not a problem. And this should be the installer. So go ahead and click Install Elementary. I'm not going to download the updates because this is a tutorial and it would take too much time. As for the third-party software, I usually download and install that because it's very useful. Again, this is a tutorial and I'm not going to be using the virtual machine to listen to audio or watch videos anytime soon. So I'm not going to install that. You can if you want. You're going to want to erase disk and install Elementary. Don't worry about the warning. There's nothing on the disk. It's just install your virtual disk. You're fine. Just leave it there. Go ahead and click Install Now. Give it a second. You're going to notice that it's a little bit slow, a little bit laggy. That's because we haven't installed the Virtualbox guest editions, which greatly improves graphical performance. I'm setting it to Detroit. You can set it to whatever time zone you're in, Chicago, wherever you are. Go ahead and click Continue. You can test your keyboard. It should detect it correctly the first time. Usually it's always done that for me. And then just put in your personal data. I'll put this as AV's Tech, AV's Virtualbox, Freya. You can change that to whatever you want. These are all personal choices. Don't really need to mess with any of these. It's just a Virtualbox. Nobody's going to care. You can choose that if you want. So this is going to download. This is actually a weird thing I found or have seen on 14.04, at least with Freya and Ubuntu Mate, which I installed on an iBook G4. You'll see that on my blog if you read that. And this is just going to install, so we'll be right back when it finishes. Okay, now that Elementary OS has finished installing, you can go ahead and click Restart Now. It'll take a little bit, restart the virtual machine. Don't worry about that. That's just the live ISO. You're just going to have to hit enter. Normally on an installation you'd have a USB stick or live CD to remove, but obviously there's none here, so just hit enter and it takes care of it all. The fancy, nice looking boot up screen. Now, you're going to notice the screen size is a bit small. You can't really switch to full screen. Doesn't do much. This is something we'll be fixing. Go ahead and log in as the user you created. Then you can go up here to Devices and insert Guest Edition CD image. I've already downloaded it, so I don't have to worry about that. But if you haven't, it'll ask you to download it. Go ahead and do that. Then go up here, search Terminal. Click on that. And you're going to type in CD/media/ then hit Tab. It should automatically tab you into the correct directory for your user. Then hit Tab again, and it should tab you in if you mounted the Guest Edition CD correctly. Hit Enter. and then type ls just to make sure. Yours should look pretty similar to mine. What you're going to want to do is type in sudo /vbox, capital B, then hit tab, and it will tab in vbox Linux editions.run. Then you're going to want to hit enter, put in your password, same password you set up earlier, and it will begin running the installer. It's going to compile and install the various modules that Virtualbox needs to perform the best. And the compile time will vary, obviously, depending on your specs. I've got a quad core with 8 gigs of RAM, so it didn't take too long, but it will vary between computers. Okay, now that it's done, you'll notice that it says we need to restart the health service. Just restart your virtual machine. Go up here, click shut down, then shut down again. Okay, now that it's shut down, you're going to want to go into settings and then click on the display tab. Your video memory is going to probably say 12 megabytes. You're going to want to change that to a different value, higher value. In my case, it was 128 megabytes. You may want to change it to just halfway, depending on your system. I personally set it to 128 megabytes because I'm not going to be running anything else while I'm running a virtual machine, especially nothing graphic intensive. Just ignore enable 3D acceleration and 2D acceleration. I'm not going to mess with those. And start the system up again. Give it a second. And if we hit, go full screen again, you'll notice it doesn't work on the login screen. I'm not sure why, but it doesn't. But once we get to the main screen, you can go switch to full screen, and voila, you're using your entire monitor now. One thing to note, if you switch to seamless mode, there is a bit of a bug where you can tab out. I don't know why that is. You can actually, if you shrink this, you can move it around while within the VirtualBox. I don't understand that, but that's a thing. So full screen works fine, but seamless mode does not. Anyways, you can shut down. And that's about it. There really isn't much else to do with this tutorial. I'm still looking into what causes that bug when you're in seamless mode, but I haven't found a solution yet. Thanks for watching this tutorial on AV's Tech. Make sure to leave a comment down below with any tips or tricks you've come across using VirtualBox on Linux. And if you have any issues, leave a comment down below and I will try to help you out. Again, thanks for watching. This has been AV's Tech.